All right, good morning, everybody. I'm gonna do a video, gonna do a snapshot of how the week went. We're actually sitting at like 12,000 for the week. Um, the goal is 25 by Sunday. Not sure what's gonna get us there. I'm gonna be very present on the sales floor today, making sure that any heavy hitter that we have is actually being worked. We have 10% off the whole store, so everything should not really need any additional discounting. We did do some cleanup. Actually, I did some cleanup this morning. Got here about an hour ago. This area right here needed some work, so now he's ready to go. Um, we have a new person starting today, one of my guys that was with me before. So employee wise, yesterday was the last day of 3 of my employees, and then we did lose another employee, so we lost 4 employees this week, and we're going to gain 1. So just to give you an example, we have 2 cashiers that run throughout the week, both morning and afternoon shift. It's me and Kathy as owners, and then we have one processor that comes 2 days a week, 3 days a week, and then we also have our warehouse guy that's going to be 5 days a week. So basically, this whole store is going to be run on like 5 employees, if that, because honestly, we have stuff to do during the day. So I mean, like I said, I'm going to be present on the sales floor, but normally it would be something where the employees would really run the show. So the processing for the 15,000 piece high piece load is going pretty smooth. We've did some more organizing, so now we're starting to collect everything that's like items together. So here would be like ornaments, here would be like garlands, tree toppers. This is going to be slated for eBay. We have all this right here that got processed. So it's kind of a little bit of a mess. That's our backlog. So what we're going to do is find a spot for some of this stuff, and then some of this stuff is just going to sit in boxes. What I think I'm going to do is actually grab watermelons and start filling them with the same type of item, and get ready for, like, if I have to have this sales day where the dot sale starts at 5, goes down to 50 cents. I might just run something where this day only, like maybe a buy one get one free or something like that. So we're gonna kind of weigh that option. So here's all my Christmas that we got out. This is all from our club load. It is a lot of good inventory, and really the heavy hitters that's going to get us through the weekend. I don't know if people are going to start buying Christmas yet, but here's Halloween. Keep in mind we got all these heaters that we need to figure out. Getting those listed. So yeah, it's possible that we have enough to get us a good number at the end of the weekend, but who knows until we see traffic. And we just started another ad on Facebook, so hopefully that gains some traction. Basically, just talking about our 10% off the whole sale or store sale, and then also that the sale does stack. So we're stacking deals. Basically, what we need to do this next week, I don't know if we're going to be able to do too much today. I am going to look at loads, but we need to get a load that has heavy hitters in it, because all this little stuff is good and everything, but I think yesterday we only ended up at like 2.6 on a Friday. So that's not a good number, because honestly our daily goal is 3.5 during the week. So we gotta up against a pretty big number this weekend. 5,000 is the minimum. We'd like to see like 6,000 or 6,500, along with the 3,500 per day. That does put us in like the safe zone, but I don't think last week we didn't have any days that were $3,500. So yeah, so this is what we're up against. We got some pools, we got some grills, we got that shed. There's a couple of smokers over there, all that patio right there, and then all these clothes. So hopefully the clothes make up a big number. Hopefully we're really busy this weekend. Usually we are slow during the day, it seems like, during the week, and then after dinner, like 5 o'clock, it starts picking up. But yesterday and the day before, we did not see that. We saw some normal customers that come in here, but we haven't been seeing our normal crowd. And somebody told me that the school is back to school, and then so basically what people are doing is the families are starting to get kind of situated with all their things that they're doing. Somebody said that, maybe it could be like all the sports. Like he said that he had to take his kids to sports. So I think everything's kind of starting up. Everybody's got to get into their normal routine, and I think that we should start seeing sales again. I do know that last fall we weren't as busy as we wanted to be, so hopefully we don't run into this year the same thing. We're dropping prices on the Pura, the soda, or sparkling water. We're going to drop the price on that. We're going to put something out there with the costumes and the play costumes, and then hopefully, like I said, today, if we stay on the sales floor, we be very involved with our customers walking in the door. Hopefully we can gain some sales that way. Seems like normally when I get on the floor, I do see a little bit of a lift, but I'm going to be really strong today on making sure that when people have something that they're interested in, they're going to actually walk out of the store with it. Because I do see, even though the traffic's low, I also see people walking in the store and walking out of the store with nothing. So that's kind of like our challenge for today. I think that with everything going on with the store, I think that from now until the end of the month, we got to focus on the 10% off sale. And I was thinking about the next month's sale. I think we're going to keep it at 10% off. And then what we're going to do is, once we get the final word on the building, we're going to start getting really aggressive. But until then, we have the toilet paper to get rid of. And then I'm also going to try to get rid of all these flannels that are here. There's a bunch of pallets of these flannels. And then I might put out some shoes to the liquidation people that buy inventory, see if we can maybe get somebody to build a pallet off of these loose cases, like these loose cases up here. This is all overstock up there. So we need to see if there's any buyers at different states, just kind of like what I did before. Find somebody that's in the south and south region, and then maybe they can use that stuff year round. So yeah, so we'll go into the eBay room. So it's kind of a mess in here still. I believe that there's 9 orders to ship, and to me that's kind of not a lot. Not a lot to start the day off with, but we're gonna hope for people buying more of the eBay during the weekend, because I mean it's only Saturday. So usually we end the weekend with like 50-60 orders, and then what I try to do is just pack everything up so Monday it's not such a big amount of items to pack up. So yeah, so that's kind of the state of the union. Probably should talk about like what the situation is with me and Kathy, with being the owners, and seeing how everything's not going the right way that we want it to. We're kind of frustrated because it seems like everything that we try to do, it's not getting any traction. So what we need to do is, I think tomorrow we're going to take the day off. We're going to go and get some recreational time off, and then we're going to see if we can kind of just regroup and get out of this funk that we're in, because it is taking a toll on us emotionally and physically, with not sleeping, stuff like that. We really need to just get ourselves in check and get to the point where I think we're okay with what's going on, but what we want to do is we want to give it as much as we can in the right areas, and I think that that's what we need to have a game plan. So we're gonna, even though having a day off to relax, we do have to have a talk where there's nothing outside interrupting us, and then we need to really figure out a game plan. I know that we've been putting financial stuff on Excel spreadsheets with scenarios, just to see like worst case scenario, best case scenario. What do we think that we have on hand that's going to get us there? But honestly, man, it's the whole thing with this situation is we wouldn't be in this situation if we had all the answers. So we're going to try to find some new answers. We're going to try to run some new scenarios around and see if we can figure out something. I think we talked yesterday about inventory purchasing. We're really reluctant on any loads that we're going to purchase, just because the cash flow is just so next to none with operating. So we really need all the cash that's in the bank to keep us operating. If we come across a load that is a bullseye, we're gonna actually take it. So what we got to do is throughout this weekend still scrape around, see what loads are out there, and then see if any of them make sense where we can just purchase it. I know that we have really good luck on certain loads, but those certain loads have actually gone up in price, a couple more $1,000s than what they normally go for. And what that means is, when you determine, hey, I need my capital back right away, is this load going to get there? It's teetering on, this is a risky load, or this could be a load that's just going to just scrape us by. We need something with some heavy hitters, some power items, to get people in the door, and maybe just putting the dot sale out there, seeing if we can capture people coming in for low dollar stuff and then leaving with high dollar stuff, because that's always been the game, is to entice our customers with really good deals on the low dollar stuff. They buy the little stuff, and then as they walk around the store, because a lot of times what happens is people come here for the first time and they get really not really overwhelmed, but they're like, wow, like there's a lot of stuff here, there's a lot of good deals. But you just got to make sure that they're seeing the right stuff, walking around the store, understanding what's going on, with like the way product placement is, and then just make sure that the value pops up in their face. So that's why you'll see a lot of color. You'll see a lot of items have pricing in it, because I just want people to, just as they're walking, make that decision, quick decision, if these are items that they want to get. So another story we got going on. These guys right here, these are like these botanical essentials 2-pack of like misters and pruners. We have another 45 of these coming, and as you can see, we have a bunch right now. Now I did check eBay, none sold, but what I was thinking about doing was maybe lotting them up, giving people a deal that they couldn't refuse, and then see if we can move like 2 at a time. So we're going to see about that, and then there's also going to be intervention from us needed for eBay listing stuff. So now that we don't have our eBay listers, we are going to get into this new listing platform that's going to help us ramp up our listings. Currently, we have, retail wise, we probably have over $250,000 listed. On sale, I'm probably at the buy box as close as I can be. We're right around 140,000 if everything in my whole eBay sold at the buy box. Probably about 140,000 before shipping, before fees. So you basically cut that in half. And so if we sold everything on eBay at this very moment, we'd probably be at $70,000. Now that would be nice. It would stink because we would have to figure out how to pack all that stuff up, because there's tons of items. I think there's like 4,500 items total. So I don't think that that's a realistic win. I think that's just more of just wishful thinking, but that just gives you an idea on how much money we're sitting on in inventory with eBay. And if we're only making, $1,500 to $2,000 a week in sales, there's a lot of improvement that can be there. And it could just be as simple as me taking one day, going through all my listings, taking them off the sale, changing the prices. And I think if I did that, I'd have to probably just export the whole spreadsheet, and then maybe just make a slight adjustment. But you just got to really be careful, because you're selling $20 items. If somebody in Hawaii or Puerto Rico or California buys it, depending on the weight and the size, you might be at like $12, $13 ship before any fees get taken out, and then that $20 item is going to net you under $5. And to me, it's not even worth even having that stuff on eBay. So that's the thing that I need to do, is figure that out. On top of that, there's an audit that needs to be done again, because of all the moves that were made and all the errors that were put in. So that's got to be something that we tackle, to get our eBay kind of on par again. But yeah, so that's really in a nutshell what's going on with everything. And definitely a lot lessons to be learned, a lot of disasters to fix this weekend, with the sales being down, and a lot of new innovations needed to make sure that our lower staff that we have, staff count, is used properly throughout the day, to make sure that we can be the most productive as we can. So in the middle of me training the new guy, I'm going to have to just keep an eye on everybody else and just make sure everybody's productive. So yeah, so thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day. Comments are always welcome. If you want to reach out and offer any advice, we're here and we're very open to any suggestions. So I appreciate you guys watching. Thanks. Have a great day.